Come, my allies. Will you join me?
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Star Wars headquarters. Hope you're all doing well. We are back again with some news because a patch just released for Battlefront 2. And as you can see from this footage, Darth Maul's lightsaber is completely different now. He now throws his lightsaber horizontally and can do damage to multiple enemies at once. We're going to talk about that. And then we're going to talk about even more nerfs being applied to Anakin Skywalker in the update as of today. And then some nice changes to Blast, Strike, and Heroes versus Villains mode. So a lot of stuff to go over in this video. Hit that like button and let's dive into it, starting off with Darth Maul. So this was from the patch notes released today. And again, this update is now available in Battlefront 2. So when you log on there, you'll be able to play and download this update. But it says the following in the patch notes. It says, Darth Maul now throws his lightsaber horizontally instead of vertically, creating a much wider hitbox for his attack. The Furious Throw ability base damage is now reduced from 150 to 75 to balance the ability's improved accuracy, improved VFX, and animation related to the ability as well. So, in my experience, when playing with this new lightsaber throw, it is really accurate. I would say like 99% of the time I was able to get the direct hit on the enemy that I was aiming at. And then what was really cool is if there was two enemies standing side by side, of course, I could do damage to both of them very easily with this new change to his lightsaber. So now Maul is a complete beast. He was already a beast before, but now he is definitely one of my favorite villains in the entire game. I love everything about him. His abilities, his animations. You know, he can block now, of course. And then this lightsaber throw is just icing on the cake, of course. So let me know what you think about it. And you'll notice that he's even more effective when he throws the lightsaber. It goes through the clone trooper and then comes back for a double whammy, if you will, and does even more damage. So he is super, super effective with this lightsaber throw. And again, as you noticed, they did have to reduce the damage of his lightsaber throw because it's so effective. So we'll see if it's too weak with the reduction. I don't think it's going to be. I think it's going to be a good amount of damage with the throw. But regardless, if it is too nerfed with the damage output of his lightsaber throw, they can always tweak it in the future. Now, talking about tweaking, let's talk about Anakin Skywalker because they've tweaked him even more by reducing some of his abilities even more. So I'm going to go over those patch notes right now. So they've reduced the duration of the choking during Anakin's retribution ability from 4 to 2 seconds. And then Anakin's retribution does not charge up based on damage received during heroic might. Now, they also did this. They said heroic might no longer deals increased damage as Anakin takes damage. The ability's radius still increases as Anakin takes damage. So that's a big change to that as well. Now, they said they increased base damage of heroic might from 70 to 90 against heroes, which is an interesting change. That's not really a nerf. I don't know why they would increase that, but they reduced base damage of heroic might from 130 to 120 against troopers. So in a way, they're making him a little bit more effective in that way. It sounds like for heroes versus villains, but they're reducing him for capital supremacy and galactic assault, of course. So overall, this change, it seems like it's something more geared towards galactic assault and capital supremacy, of course. We'll see if it's enough, because again, I've always felt like Anakin Skywalker is still way too OP. Every time I see him, the only choice I seem to have when I'm like a reinforcement or something is to run away. There's no defense against him, but we'll see if these additional nerfs are enough. We'll have to see about that. Now, let's move on to some of the additional changes to Blast, Strike, and Heroes versus Villains mode. So they said they reduced the minimum number of players required to start the following game mode. So Blast, Strike, and Heroes versus Villains. Now, Blast now will require 4 players to start. Strike will also require 4 players to start instead of 8. And then Heroes versus Villains, instead of requiring 8 players, will require only 6. So this is a big change, and something that is a much needed change, because I have been so tired of just sitting in the lobby waiting for that one extra player to join to get the round started. Now, in the future, I think it'd be cool to have it where when you are waiting in the lobby, instead of waiting at the screen, you know, you sit there at the screen, you're actually in the map, just roaming around, goofing off, you know, killing each other. Similar to how, you know, the Battle Royale games do it, like Fortnite and PUBG, where there's a holding area in a lobby where players just goof off, they're emoting, messing with their weapons, and then the game actually starts. So I hope they do that in the future, but I think this is a good direction for, you know, getting the games to start a lot quicker. So that's a good thing that they've done that. Now, there's other improvements as well, including with the minimap in Heroes vs. Villains. So they said the minimap in Heroes vs. Villains will now work similar to Hero Showdown, and it won't constantly show all of the players on the screen. So that's good news. Now, it also says Heroes will now cost the same amount of battle points across all maps. So that's a good change. You know, they don't have to worry about that anymore. And I think this came up when Lando, you know, was shown in the Episode 9 trailer, and then everyone was like, uh-oh, his battle points need to be adjusted. And I think DICE no longer wants to worry about that. You know, they don't want to worry about that, so they just made it an even amount of battle points across the board. Now, they fixed an issue where Iden's droid batteries star card was granting incorrect recharge time values for the stun droid ability, and then they fixed an issue where Han Solo would be unable to jump if the sharp trooper ability got canceled or interrupted. Now, this one has been a complaint for people who like the DC-15LE. They fixed an issue where the DC-15LE would have no crosshair when close aiming, and if the improved zoom attachment was equipped, this is when that would occur. So they fixed that as well, and I noticed that, and that's a good fix, definitely, in this update. Now, there were some other fixes as well in this patch. I'll let you check that out in the full patch notes. I'll leave a link in the description to check it out. But overall, this patch is a really good change, especially for Darth Maul, who's getting the biggest change of them all with his horizontal lightsaber throw. So that's, again, really exciting that they've done that, and I hope they continue, you know, to improve the heroes. And there's been discussion as well if these heroes, like Darth Maul and other heroes, are going to be getting a 4th ability, since Anakin Skywalker has a 4th ability. You know, we've reported on that before, and, you know, it sounds like DICE might be looking at that for some of the heroes and villains in the game. So let me know, what do you think about that? Do you think the heroes and villains in the game, besides Anakin Skywalker, should get a 4th ability? And if so, what 4th ability would you add to the game? Like, for instance, with Darth Maul, I'm not sure exactly what I would do with that, but someone did bring up an interesting discussion about General Grievous, how General Grievous's 4th ability could be where he activates all 4 lightsabers all at once, and he can just use those freely, and I thought that was a really good idea. Yes, it might make General Grievous way too OP, but then again, they could, you know, kind of adjust the damage output accordingly with that ability to make sure it's not too OP. But the fact that, you know, that was discussed in the community, I thought was a really good idea. I think DICE should really consider that for Darth Maul, because right now we only have his 2 abilities, his spin attack ability, of course, and then his other ability, Thrust Surge, which, you know, briefly give you the opportunity to play with 4 lightsabers all at once. And I really, really want the chance to play with his 4 lightsabers, like, freely, like a free form type thing. But again, let me know, what 4th ability would you add to your favorite heroes in the game? You know, Darth Vader, for instance, what 4th ability could he have? There's so many possibilities. Obi-Wan Kenobi could be a really cool character that could benefit from a 4th ability for sure. And speaking of Obi-Wan Kenobi, I did mention this in our previous live streams. I really feel like he needs an increased damage output. I feel like Obi-Wan Kenobi right now is definitely underpowered, and I feel like they need to do something with Obi-Wan Kenobi, because again, if I have the choice between, you know, Obi-Wan Kenobi and Luke Skywalker, for instance, in Heroes vs. Villains, I usually go with Luke Skywalker because I feel like he's more powerful than Obi-Wan Kenobi at the moment. I feel like I'm more effective with Luke Skywalker than Obi-Wan Kenobi. And of course, Anakin Skywalker, he's the most powerful of them all. But, you know, I feel like Obi-Wan Kenobi, of course, should be on the same level playing field as both Anakin Skywalker and Luke Skywalker. So I think there's a change that needs to be done there. If you agree with this, let me know in the comments. I think Obi-Wan Kenobi definitely needs to be looked at for sure. But yeah, what other nerfs and buffs do you want to see for the heroes in Battlefront 2? Post in the comments. Looks like they're doing some really good changes to the heroes, with Darth Maul definitely seeing some of the biggest benefits as of late with his ability to block and his new lightsaber throw. And so that was a big surprise for today. But we are continuing our countdown to June 26th, of course, which is going to include a bunch of stuff, including droidicas, the new TX-130 tank, we have the Anakin Skywalker skin, the new Clone Trooper skins, and then, of course, feed on Capital Supremacy. So keep it right here at the Star Wars headquarters. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications because you don't want to miss it. We're going to have tons of stuff to look forward to for sure. So I will see you all next time. Enjoy the rest of your day, and may the Force be with you always.
What?